Go ahead.
Well, we're freezing to death here at the barn. It's cold again today, so it's almost noon, and it's still minus 14 before the wind. Now, it's not that windy today, but it is still cold. I shouldn't really talk. I didn't jog anything today. I had to take Miss Mildred up to the vet, up to the university. She's getting that OCD removed today. I wanted to get that out as quick as we could. And I told everybody throughout the week, everybody's going to get a chance to give their own 2 cents for their top 10 list. Jimmy Gillespie, so a lot of you guys don't know Jimmy, works in the race office. I drove, how old are you?
28.
I drove for Jimmy's dad in Belleville and Kawartha Downs before you were 10.
Yeah.
Before you were 10. True story. So Jimmy drove a little bit. You drove some of our horses this summer, right?
Yeah.
Drove some of our horses at Kawartha Downs this summer. Now, do you drive again this summer at Kawartha?
Possibly. We'll see how things go.
So Jimmy works in race office. He's contemplating driving retirement or part-time driving work, but does a real good job with our horses on the track. Now, are you back full-time when Mohawk starts?
Yeah.
Do you work on Saturdays?
No.
Oh, well, Jimmy's still going to be available for Saturdays.
Yeah.
So Jimmy's going to have the chance to give his top 10. I didn't want to have any input. None. I didn't say a word. Never said a word about Jimmy's list. I want to make sure it's unbiased. So this is a top 10 list through the eyes of Jimmy Gillespie. We will see. I'm going to turn it over to Jimmy right here in the office. Let's see what Jimmy says.
So 10 to 1?
10 to 1, and you got to tell them why.
Okay.
Can't just give a name.
Number 10, we got Peanut Butter and Jelly. Better's Delight filly. She's pretty push button right now. She's got a good pedigree, and she could be a nice OSS filly. 9 is Prairie Fire, the anticipated first crop of Long Tom. He's getting the hang of it every week. He's kind of snowballing. He's getting more confidence every time. So we'll see. Number 8, Sweet on Pete. I had the chance to sit behind her for the first time this week, and she kind of impressed me. Big, strong mare, and I think we're going to take the hobbles off her this week.
Yeah, they're coming off for Wednesday.
And, she's got a real big gait to her, and I think she can rock pretty good. 7, what's Gypsy's name?
Renegade
Gypsy. Mario's been protecting him pretty good. He's a big, strong black colt, Archangel. I don't think we've seen the bottom of him or close to it yet. So, he's so far so good.
Mm-hmm.
6, 1, 2, skip a few. I usually go with her. She's a little funny in the mouth, but she, you got to meet her in the middle a little bit. And, but I mean, her attitude, she wants to do it, and she goes forward when you ask her. 5, Unbeatable Kemp. He was probably my number 1 pick when I started here. He can roll pretty good. He's just a little mentally immature. But first crop of Walner, he's got a shot to be a nice horse. 4, what's Dragon? Dragon's
Luck of the
Dragon. He's out of Luck of Michelle, right? Or
That's
no?
right.
Yes. So far he's probably come full circle, I'd say, right?
Oh yeah.
He right now he's very push button. He does what he has to on the track, and drives like a little race car. Number 3, Voyage of Ice and Fire.
That's right.
Fire
Yeah.
Nice.
Ice and Fire.
Anthony always goes with him, and he can roll. He's got a bit of a mind of his own, but he's Ohio.
Yeah, he's a break the bank K.
Right, but he's one of those horses you definitely notice when he's on the track. Eyes of 10 is number 2.
Email like that.
Yeah, she's a very gritty little filly. She looks like she drives like a little sports car, and she's always got a good attitude. She's going forward at the end of the mile usually. And last, number 1, James McDonald's Main Drive, Spent. He's a black trotter. He looks like a trotter.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a presence when he's on the track, and it's Spent even when you're a quarter mile away from him. So.
His sister, I qualified at the Meadows on Thursday. She's racing Wednesday. That's
really?
Spend That Money.
Yes.
Spend That Money was the best filly in Ohio the first
Yeah.
2 starts of the year. She was undefeated in the first 2 starts of the year as a 2-year-old. This guy doesn't remind me anything of her. Similar, I guess, maybe in a little bit the way their gaits are, but this guy's stronger, got a big long gait to him.
Yeah. He's professional at this stage
of
the game.
Yeah, he definitely looks good. Definitely looks good. So that's Jimmy's list, and as you can see, little biased is the horses he goes with, but we all are, right? Horses we go with, we gravitate towards. Jimmy gets to go with 1, 2, skip a few every week. I love this filly too, and you talk about horses that, as Jimmy said, come full circle. Luck of the Dragon and 1, 2, skip a few. I don't think I've seen horses. Now, obviously, they're fresh in my mind because it's this crop, but aside from watching My Jazz, and that was at stake season. That took her all the way to stake season. Yes, all the way to stake season. To see a horse change from November to January, the way that Luck of the Dragon and 1, 2, skip a few did. 1, 2, skip a few literally lived up to her name when we broke her. She couldn't function. Would pace, gallop. Just, you could tell she wanted to. You could tell there was something there. She just couldn't put it all together, and for her to just change overnight, seemingly, she went from, geez, she's trotting along pretty good with the hobbles on, to, I don't think she needs hobbles, to, she's pretty cool customer on the track. When you put her in gear, she's all business. As Jimmy said, she's a little funny with her mouth. You can't really grab into her, and I know it bothers James because she doesn't pick the bit up like a grabby horse, but she's attentive. Once you feel she's thought out, she's flawless. You can move her over and she'll just rock. And she's a nice filly. And to look at the other side of the page, pacing colt, Luck of the Dragon, we broke him. You could tell there was something there, but he was making breaks. He felt very uncomfortable, very frustrated on the track. We castrated him. I'm not saying that is what led to the horse we have now. It was a number of things. Teresa works very hard taking care of this horse. His stifles, he had a little curb that was bothering him. We put flip-flops on him. It was just cumulatively, you saw this horse get better and better and better, but such a short period of time to see such improvement. I don't know that I've ever seen horses improve that quickly. 1, 2, skip a few, and Luck of the Dragon. Both look fantastic. I was a little surprised to see Spent on the top of the list, but he has been fantastic. James has been doing a great job with him. He's been doing a great job with Will to Win Hanover. You guys know, you know me long enough now. James and I butt heads a lot of the times on how to train horses, but that doesn't mean I discount the knowledge James has. Now, I don't think he has as much knowledge as I do, but I certainly don't discount the knowledge James has, and the job he's done with Will to Win Hanover, the job he's done with Spent has been incredible. It's a great mix because I'm hard on them. I'm rough on them. I want them to work as hard as they can when I need them to. You guys know how it is. I feel that our horses should come to the track prepared, ready to race right now. And James has that old school mentality where just take your time, take your time. It's a good mix, right? It's a good fit for a horse like Will to Win Hanover. And Spent, it's a good fit for him also. So I think James is doing a great job with him. Amy loves Eyes of 10, and I love nothing more than, my wife comes to the barn and works her butt off every day in the freezing cold and loves to go with this filly and gets along really, really well with her. As Jimmy said, Voyage of Ice and Fire, he's a killer. I don't want to geld him. I know sometimes he can act up in the barn and, he loses his marbles sometimes on the track, but man, when he puts it together, it just feels like he could drag a barn behind him. He's got a massive, massive engine in him, and I really, really like this colt. As far as Ohio-bred trotting colts, it's been a while, I think, since we had one that I liked as much as Voyage. Last year, we had some okay colts. Like George was the same GW Chrome, was okay, but certainly wasn't a stake horse. We raced him in the first 2 sire stakes, and he proved that he wasn't. But doesn't mean he's not this year. He's put a lot together in a short period of time also. But the last time, Oso Pine, West 52nd, yes, that year, the year before maybe, we had one, but Voyage of Ice and Fire just seems like he's just ready to explode all the time, and in a good way. Number 4, you've Dragon, that goes without saying. We talked about him. 5, Kemp. I went with Kemp 2 weeks ago one time, and he beat all the best horses on the front end. The only thing it bothers me about the Walners a little bit was that Kemp will pull up going into the turn, and 3-point once in a while will act up. That's just, as Jimmy put it, and he's 100% right, mentally immature. I would be gravitating towards castrating them, but when I went with Unbeatable Kemp, he felt great. So I don't want to just castrate to castrate, right? You guys might think that, Anthony just castrates everything. I don't. There's usually a purpose behind them. They have to push me over the line or push themselves over the line. They're close, but they're not quite there yet. And then 1, 2, skip a few, as I said, goes without saying. Renegade Gypsy is 100% correct. This could be any kind of horse. He has all the tools in the toolbox, and it appears he's more than willing to use them all the right way. A great example of how different people train different ways, and we try to give everybody a wide berth. Mario's done a great job with this call. Say what you want about Mario or about what's gone on in the past. We give everybody an opportunity to rise up, and I'm going to tell you what, Rosie's masterpiece, Renegade Gypsy. I'm missing one too. Who's Mario's other good horse? No. Amordiner. He is down there. I thought he had one more. Twinkle in Her Eye. She's coming on. And then Sweet on Pete, I agree 100%. Big gate. I could hear him. Jimmy was coming to me after the mile, and I could hear the hobbles working, the pulley in the hobbles working. There were, she had burnt in the hobbles a little bit on her front legs. This is a filly that looks to me, does she seem safe?
Yep.
Yeah, I think this filly, we got a little shoeing change we did on her, a few little equipment changes. I think she's dialed in now. We'll see on Wednesday. We'll let her rock a little bit without the hobbles on. And then Prairie Fire, I agree. I don't know if he would have made my top 10 list because he's got a lot of work to do, but he has come a long way. You went with him when he was okay.
Yeah.
And now he's catching up. He's really coming up into that top 10 list from my point of view, but he looks like he could be a very handy, very nice horse to be around. Handy, speed, and intelligence will make you money in Ohio for sure, and Prairie Fire possesses all those. And then Peanut Butter and Jelly goes to saying, where did you end up? I watched you from over here. She was making it on the end of it.
Yeah, she is coming. We've been tinkering with her steering, and
I saw you head pull on her for the first time.
She was fighting that a little, but
yeah, she's stubborn, but man, she's got a big lead gait on her, and she can really rock. Well-bred filly, Bettor's Delight, lots of speed, lots of talent, lots of attitude, but the good kind of attitude. So I agree 100%. I think Jelly might have been on my list too. I'm not sure, but I agree. So that's Jimmy Gillespie's list. We'll maybe get James. We'll corner him one of these days and get him to do a list. Maybe Mario also. What else do we have? Johnny. Get Johnny to do a list also. But for now, that's Jimmy Gillespie's top 10 list. This is Jimmy. And Jimmy, hopefully, will be back to work soon so we can all get back to racing. But for now, we have him here full-time at the stable. Thanks,
Bam.
Jimmy. What?
Said boom.
Yeah. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, guys.